Well, it's an exciting time for soccer in the United States, both on the men's and women's side because of the World Cup and the U.S. being the host country. From your perspective, being a president of a professional women's soccer team, what does this mean for the United States and the growth of the sport?
Yeah, I think anytime there's attention on soccer, it's good for the sport. I mean, this is not, it's the world sport, but it's not yet our sport. And so we just think of it as a huge benefit to have the world's eyes on all soccer, including women's soccer.
Where have you seen the most growth in the sport in the States in particular?
Yeah, it's crazy. In the 3 years I've been working at this team, I mean, the valuations of the clubs have just grown exponentially, from literally the millions of dollars to the hundreds of millions of dollars. Our ratings are growing year over year. Our fan bases are growing year over year. And it's just crazy to watch the growth. And that's, we're not looking at that as driven by the World Cup. We're looking at that as the World Cup adds another huge chance for us to do that exponentially more in the years coming up.
All eyes are going to be on the States come the summer, which is fun and exciting with so many different host sites. Being a president, what will you kind of key in on and watch as all these different host sites are trying to put on this massive global event?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to buy my own tickets to World Cup matches. And then I'm going to be looking to our Midwest host, KC, that's going to have a lot of these matches. And then locally, we're going to have a U.S. men's national team match, and Mexico's going to play here, so hoping to attend those and sort of see the reaction of the city and how they're embracing the World Cup in Chicago.
Anything you're most excited about?
Well, obviously our U.S. men's national team is near and dear to my heart, having come from U.S. soccer, but also obviously that's our team. We're just going to be supporting them and hoping they drive as deep into the field as they can.
What is the passion like, being your experience with U.S. soccer for that men's national team that you picked up on when you were there?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. We just are just on the cusp of a breakthrough team on the men's side. Obviously, the women have been hugely successful, but the men really need that breakthrough moment, and we're hoping this is the year.
Is there anything that drives from this year being the World Cup here in the States to 2027 and the Women's World Cup that carries over?
Well, the women like to think of the Men's World Cup as the appetizer for our World Cup, but I think as we look forward, we're really hoping that our own women take inspiration. We have 2 national team players on the Chicago Stars we're excited about, watching them develop as they prepare for the World Cup. But it's really in driving those eyeballs to our sport and showing them that the women's game is just as, if not more, compelling. We've had more success in the World Cup. On the women's side, our U.S. women's national team, has 4 World Cup championships already. And, it's you can see the connection between the World Cup being hosted in the U.S. and the growth of soccer in the years that follow. And so that's just a really exciting thing for us to look forward to.
Is there any way you can describe the crowds that happen at these World Cup matches?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see what each country's culture brings to the sport. Mexico is obviously famous for being super passionate in the stands, but even the U.S. fans are just, it's a level above what you would see in an ordinary, MLS match. So it's exciting. I mean, they just bring their passion for their country, the passion for the players, the passion for the game in a way that you can feel it in your bones. And that is just such a wonderful thing to see in our sport.
All right, let's talk about the passion for the Stars that you have with the season starting this month. Yeah. Crazy how time flies.
It is crazy.
And crazy how many changes are coming to this club. You have Martin Sjogren, who's here. You just came back from Spain where you trained this off season. Let's start with Sjogren and what he's going to bring to this club this year.
Look, I think the biggest thing Martin brings is just a measure of calm into the community. And so the players know that they have an experienced world-class coach who is driving them to the next level. He's teaching them, sort of what their competitors are doing in terms of level of preparation and driving them forward in that way. And then he's changing the mindset. And I think that's really helpful for the team to really feel just that stability and calm coming from an experienced coach. And then he has a secret fun side, which I think they love. So.
Okay, we'll have to see that come out this season.
Yeah.
What led the decision to train in Spain?
I think for us it was a bunch of things. We knew that we wanted to have a unique experience. We want to level up and take our everything about the club, whether it's training or where we play, to the next level. having the ability and the opportunity to train in Europe just gives you that feel, okay, we're on hallowed ground in terms of where soccer was invented, and it allowed us to do some things that we can't do here in terms of privacy and team building, and it gave the players a really special, unique experience. So it was our first time. I think we learned a lot, and we'll see if we do it again.
What was some of the feedback you got from the players?
Well, obviously the food in Spain is next level,
Yes.
so there was that. I think they liked having the privacy. I think they liked being able to build the team unity in this way when you have privacy. And I think they liked having a scrimmage against Boston as they head into their first season. And so there were lots of good pieces of feedback that will allow us to, sort of dial it up or, make it better for them next year.
We're talking about all these host sites for the World Cup, but your own home site this year is going to be on the lakefront at Northwestern in a matter of 3 weeks, which is crazy how time flies.
It is crazy.
Have you envisioned what it's going to be like, that first match there? I mean, we hope it's not too cold, but that's a possibility, obviously. Just the atmosphere, though, that it's going to be able to create for the Stars.
Yeah, I don't think I'm worried about the cold so much. Soccer is a cold weather sport, and so I don't think our players or our fans are really afraid of that. I think what we're hoping for is that same energy that we had on September 7th when we played there. It's just such a spectacular location, and we feel really welcome in Evanston. It is a stadium that's right-sized for our game at this time, and the players really loved it, so I'm hoping all that comes through.
You have a lot of roster changes that have happened this year as well. How do you feel like you beefed up the roster over the offseason?
Well, look, we have an incredible amount of players who are playing for their own national teams. That feels really good. We've brought in some experienced U.S. players, Brianna Pinto for one, who just brings a level of maturity to the game. I think on all fronts we feel really good. We're welcoming back Mallory Swanson, which we're really excited about. So I think overall we feel really good about this, and layering on that team building and the training and our new coach, it feels really good.
All right, we got to talk about the new kits because they're really cool.
Yeah.
We have one here, the stripes. Okay, what do you think of him when you saw him at first?
You know what? This kit was designed over 2 years ago when we first bought the club. Nike's timelines are a long lag, so I had really forgotten what we had designed, and it is so much better than even I remembered. It really exemplifies the city of Chicago, the tall buildings, the lake, the rivers, and so we really felt like we nailed it here. We did a little bit of a throwback design to a more classic kit where other people are going more avant-garde, and I think our players really like it. As Mal said, it can be styled on and off the pitch. So
okay.
We're hoping that people do style it on and off the pitch.
I love that. I always say that the Stars have the best gear. It's always very creative and different, which I like.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting ready for the start of the season. As you sit here now and think about expectations that you set for the club, in your mind, what would make it a successful year?
Well, look, we're always hoping to be deep in the playoffs, if not at the championship level. So that's where you start. But I think on the business side, we're always hoping to drive the club forward. So the fan experience is next level, and we have some surprises for fans in terms of fan experience. I think they're going to enjoy that. I think we hope that our players are feeling like we've leveled up in their environments and their coaches. And I'm hoping that our partners in particular are satisfied with where the club is headed. And so I'm confident in all those three areas. We're going to feel pretty good at the end of the season.
Karen, we appreciate your time.
Well, thanks so much for having me.